Yo, what is up, guys? It is MindaMan here. Today I'm going to go over 3 games where I won on leechess.org, and it is against 2 people. This first game is against JJ Gaming. I'll link his channel below, and the next 2 games are against JMan217, who doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he does have a SoundCloud, so you should go follow him on SoundCloud if you're watching this. So starts out as a queen's pawn with d4. Respond with h6, knight c3, g6, knight d5, and then this is kind of a goofy opening, because he can threaten here and here, but nothing really else, and if he takes one of these 2 pawns, then I take with the queen, and now I have an active queen. So, I don't think that was a good move. I move out my bishop, threatening his pawn, and I need more defense because his queen can just take. Anyway, he moves to e3. I don't really understand the point of this move, except for that it defends this pawn. So I cancel. Okay, I don't really know what else to do. And then knight f3. I don't know what he's doing, but he's definitely doing something. He's trying to find a weak spot. So I play b6. And he plays knight g5, c5, making a connect 4 with pawns. He takes, I take, and then he can't really do anything. The best he can do is take a pawn, but then I take back. So, he takes, I take, and then it's bishop b5. This bishop doesn't really do anything, because it's basically useless, because if he takes, I take. So I play e6. So if he takes, I take, or I take, and now I'm threatening his knight, which then could lead to him doing a queen trade. Well, not really anymore, since he took the pawn, but you get what I'm saying. So, anyway, pawn e6, knight c3, kicking away the knight. Then I did f6, kicking away his other knight. Moves away, and now he's threatening this pawn. d5, c5, a6. This is kind of a bad move, because if takes, takes, and then I just lost pieces. So that's basically a losing thing for me. Take, takes. Queen a5, threatening the knight, and threatening this knight. Moves knight away, I take the knight. He moves to h4, knight f5, threatening the pawn. g4. Goofy move, but kicks away my knight. Take on h4, takes on h4, g5. Pretty good move, in my opinion. h3, d4. This move is very good because if he takes, then I can drop back, and then no matter what he does, like if he does this, then I'm doubled up, and now I can basically go through anything. Well, not what I just did. I just played the one move to defend what I was doing. Anyway, queen c6, queen d3, queen to g2, threatening his rook, and his rook is now, only defense is the queen, and the rook is defending the queen. If I take, he takes, and I can't take back the queen. So I have to wait for him to move his queen or block his own defense. So knight to d1, rook e8, knight e3, threatening my queen, but he threatens my queen, but blocks his queen, so I can take this for free. And that is exactly what I did. Queen b5, queen h1, check. King d2, rook to d8, queen a6, e5, d5, bishop f8, queen takes on a7, bishop c5. Technically forking, because if you don't take, then I have a chance at taking your queen or your knight. But, so anyway, they take e4, c3, c8. Now this is a very good move, because if takes, and if you, and your queen is just pinned now, you can't move away. So what does he do? Queen c4. A complete, absolute, brilliant move. You thought I was going to say bad. It's actually a very good move. Because if I take, takes, and then you're free. So that's what happened. Takes. Queen to e1. And then this position checkmated him with b4. An amazing game. Okay. So now let's see a different person get destroyed. So in this game, it's a checkmate in 37. So we start off with the classical move h3. And I am white in this game. And J-Man responds with b6. And so it's g3, bishop a6, bishop g2, d5, castles. Okay. Now knight c6, e4, d4, g4, d3, pawn takes d3, knight e5, f4, knight takes d3, f2, f4, d3, g2, king takes g2, queen d4, threatening the knight, and then it's queen f3, long castles. Now, I don't know if this is a bad thing, but castling long and then castling short makes it a very complex game. Bishop e3, queen takes on b2, threatening the rook and the knight. The knight is protected 3 ways. And so we have knight d2, which actually this is protected because of the bishop, and then the rook protects the rook. This is one of the best moves that you can make in this position. Then it's bishop takes d3, rook to rook to b1, queen c2, knight d3, rook d3, queen d1, queen c6, queen e2, queen takes e4. Horrible mistake, because knight takes d5, g5, e5, check on g4, f5, queen takes f5, check, d8, g6, e8, f1, d8, queen takes f8, d7, f6, c8, f7, knight takes f6. This is a very, very interesting game. It's going to be a close game. But if you sacrifice, then this is mate, which is actually not how the game goes. So that would be mate, but instead, in this position, white plays f8, and then queen g7, taking the pawn. So rook to e8, rook c1, knight to d7, queen takes d7. It is protected by the rook. b7, c7, a6, c4, b7, a4, g6, d7, b8, c6, a5, and checkmate on b7, protected by the rook. What a game. We're going to start out with f4, h6, e3, g6, g3, bishop on g7, c3 castles, b4, d6, a3, bishop g4. A killer move, threatening the queen. And if queen takes, then knight takes, and they're down a queen, but up a bishop. So instead, they play queen a4. Follows up by me playing bishop to d7, queen b3, bishop e6, queen b2, f5, bishop d3, d5, knight f3, knight c6, castles, short. Now it's the same castling side. a5, takes on a5, takes on a5. Now, this is where it gets a little grimy. Because queen takes b7, and they hang their queen. Knight e5, knight c5. They're obviously down a queen, and they're sad that they lost the queen. I know, I was present. Knight to c6, threatening the queen. The queen moves here. Oh my gosh, the crowd goes wild. Bishop b5, protecting the knight that was being threatened. d7, preparing a trade-off. Because if it's a move like this, takes. So it's knight a7. Rook takes a7. Bishop trade. a4. Rook takes a4. Rook trade. Now they're ready to hang their bishop, but for a queen, I am obviously smart and do not see that. So instead I play knight e4, getting ready to check the king. And in this position they play bishop takes e7, rook to e8, bishop g5, knight d2, knight takes d2, knight f7, rook b1, knight g5, pawn takes g5, rook e3, b3, e4, f2, f3, g1, e2, rook f1, and in this position, it's mate. Just checkmate. Because f3, and they move their knight in a sad attempt to take the rook. But this is mate. this is mate, and this is mate. Or, no, that is not mate. Yeah, there's only 2 mates. This is mate, and this is how the game ended. GG's. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.